If you do it right, the bear gets shocked. In most cases, that's it. What? Dairy farmers had a history of problems with grizzly bears. They come from the west, and they hit all the cornfields around, but once the corn's off, they come into the farmyard after the silage and ration pits for the dairy feed mix.
We know there's grizzly bears accessing the farmyard basically every night of the year except for when they're denning. Even just this morning, there was fresh tracks right where I stand. And so to try and keep bears out of the full farmyard, we decided that we needed to build a perimeter fence around everything. I have had people at some points ask, is that kind of mean? Sure, except for if bears don't learn about fences and they aren't deterred from an area, then it can ensue ongoing conflicts that can possibly escalate. It's a bit of tough love, but it's actually keeping that animal safe as well.
The idea was to mitigate this. This has been in the works. This has been planning for some time. It's 1,100 meters, goes all around the active barns, milk parlor, hay sheds, silage pits, ration pits, and the dead stock area in the back. You know, anybody can build a bear fence, especially guys who build cow fence, but it's different for bears and wolves, carnivores. You have to pay attention to a lot of detail. With bears, if you fill it in and do it right, out of sight, out of mind. If you don't, they're going to find it, and they'll key right into it, and then you'll be wondering, why did this not work? Why did I spend all this time, expense, and materials? It didn't work because you weren't fussy enough. Just be fussy.
Because there was prior digging underneath the fence around the dead stock here, and tunnels where bears could just skirt right underneath. We expect there to be digging from grizzly bears here at this spot.
You can see the first hot wire. It's pretty high. It's shifted up on the fence, and the bears have clearly managed to get it to the point where it would short out. And they've dug underneath and gone in and removed some of the dead stock.
One more. This long stretch, 130 feet, we're going to put in here and bury it like the previous one.
So the insulation of the apron mesh underneath the surface of the earth helps to create that physical barrier to digging. It doesn't absolutely mean a bear won't dig or that a bear absolutely could not dig through that, but that in combination with the electric fence, we're stacking everything in our favor to deter bears effectively in the long term from this site.
Well, maintenance, especially on a new fence and a big fence like this, and especially a place that has a history of bear activity, it's really good beyond maintenance. First is monitoring, to go around and look for any sign of activity. You want to maintain maximum charge on the wires, and you don't want to lose any to any reason. He's got wood. He's got a zillion chunks of wire sticking out, and it was shorting. This is just a mess. When we're tying off your ends or splicing wire, make sure you trim them so you don't have a tail, we call it, drooping down and hit the wire. What the f***? How did that not get done? It's a little bit more confusing when people add wire to an existing fence like we did on the back side of this, because you have existing barbed wire, you have what's called twitch wires, which are tension wires on the bracing assemblies. And you have to be really fussy that there's no metal wire touching our live wires. The digital handheld voltmeter. Well, you look at the Energizer and it says, wow, 3,000 volts. You know there's a short when it's supposed to be 8. So where's the short? Especially if it's something goofy like a stray piece of wire. Vast majority of cases, that's it. And there's just a short in the fence. And people I know, I personally had this happen with say, no, I checked the fence. There's no shorts. Go check it again. Oh, yeah. There was this little wire stick it out. Honestly, it happens so much, it's kind of comical. Seven.
Oh, so we're good.
But again, it's paying attention to detail, being really fastidious. And when we build these things, I mean, as we get a section done, we test it. I go, well, it's good. We go on to the next section and we test that. If you build a whole fence and test it, and something's wrong, it's a lot harder to find what went wrong. Maintenance, it should be twice a year. Say it's for bears in the spring when you know they're going to wake up, go around, make sure everything's good, turn it on, test it. Definitely, again, come close to Labor Day because that's a high pressure period from Labor Day to hibernation when their number one goal is to put on fat. And they want food as easy and as fast as they can get. This is robbing voltage. He's got to come and knock that off. And then during the growing season, weed loading, we call it. So it's any grasses, broadleaves. As they grow into the fence, that's a problem. You look at the Energizer at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and you test it and you're reading 8,000 volts. But then the next morning at 6 a.m. after a heavy dew with grass, you'll be half that. And that's when the bears are active during the night. So you really want to be sure that you keep it well trimmed. But see the spark? So that's pretty dang good power. That's probably one of the biggest maintenance issues is maintaining the grass. You can do that with weed eating. You can do it with herbicide. And we'll tell these guys this is a maintenance issue.
Yep.
So if we have a still picture of that, that's not a lot, but
It's
again,
enough.
we don't want any. A lot of people don't give bears the respect for their ability to solve problems and for their brute strength. Problem-solving part is you can teach a bear to ride a unicycle, so don't be surprised when they outsmart you and see one of your weak spots, your Achilles heel. When they figure out, hey, I'm not getting bit here. Even a 300-pound black bear's got the strength of like a small bulldozer. They'll just pull your thing apart. And once they do that, your wires cross, your wire breaks, it's in the ground and starts shorting, he's home free. So for the most part, if you pay attention to detail, have a good plan to start with. We like to work with people. Email's so easy now. But again, your results are going to be directly proportional to the effort you put into it in terms of care, planning, and execution. Oh, shoot, it's live. We got to show them how to... Well, you could get a picture of this. Them going through the gate. Yeah, okay. Oh, it's on now. You have to be a little careful.
What happens if you touch the wire?
It would hurt a lot. You'll cry.
Then you will die?
No, absolutely no.
You're a bear.
It'll hurt. Well, the same thing.
Kill the bear either.
No.
Tells the bear, you don't want to be here.
That's right. Huh? Okay. That's a wrap. It's in the can, Bob.